Hey guys, quick announcement. If you're loving this series on psychics, the Center for Inquiry is putting together a conference called CSICon October 18th to 21st in Las Vegas, and a lot of the people that I've featured in this series, including James Randi and the mentalist Banachek, are going to be there, as well as Stephen Fry, Richard Dawkins, the Psy Babe, Steven Pinker, and Susan Blackmore, whose research I referenced in my near-death experiences video, and a bunch of other people. I'll put a link to everything below.
He said there was an old lady recently and she'd been diagnosed with terminal cancer. It was inoperable and she knew she was going to die soon, and I was sat there and she took my hand and she burst into tears. And I said, "What's wrong?" And she said, "I've been so stupid. My entire life I've worked so hard to save some money to leave to my children, and now I've gone and wasted it all on these people." And she was talking about mediums. She'd realised that it was a con, it was a scam. And he said, as she said this, she started crying, I started crying, and she died in my arms.
In this whole series that I've done on psychics, I've gone through and systematically exposed these goofs for the hacks they are, outlining exactly what tricks they use to con people by the millions. Despite knowing that it's absolute crap, you would be amazed how many people say, it's all just a bit of fun, what's the harm? What's the harm? These piranhas prey on the most vulnerable people in our society, conning the bereaved out of their life savings.
It turns out that self-proclaimed psychics frequently target the elderly and financially desperate all over the world.
My mother was 80 years old and suffering with onset Alzheimer's. I came across checks that she was writing weekly in the amount of $59 each time. And then I found checks that she'd written even twice a week and twice a day. And all of these checks added up to over $2,400 in the span of a year.
What was this like for you to see someone take advantage of your mom like this?
Oh, it was so painful.
What's the harm? What's the harm in turning those who need our sympathy most into your target? Under what circumstances is it okay to con a grieving widow? And when your mark opens up to you and bears their open wounds in front of you, what's the harm in pissing on the memories of their lost loved ones? Smearing it in bullshit to elevate your status as a guru, just to siphon money out of their wallet into yours? What's the harm in wasting police resources, in lying to cops and feeding them spiritual hogwash that, in the worst cases, can lead to life-ruining false arrests, and at best, is an utter waste of limited resources on a wild goose chase? Resources that could be spent productively, saving lives and solving crime. What's the harm in spreading pseudoscientific madness, sowing seeds of confusion and distrust against actual scientists who are testing theories and pushing society forward with results that work?
Everything I tell people is positive and gives them hope. How does that make me a douche?
Because the big questions in life are tough. Why are we here? Where are we from? Where are we going? But if people believe in asshole, douchey liars like you, we're never gonna find the real answer to those questions. You aren't just lying, you're slowing down the progress of all mankind, you douche.
Psychics thrive off of a monopoly on mystery, intentionally misleading the masses with deep-sounding vague BS about quantum healing, energy crystals, and chakra alignment endorsed by naturopathic quacks. It's junk science. And the only thing it has in common with real science is that it sounds complicated. But science sets out to explain while psychics set out to mislead. Because when lying is your business model, obfuscation becomes strategy. They hold society back. We could be on Mars, and instead we're sitting around pretending to conjure dead people. It's backwards and it's sick. They say it's therapeutic, but we have people for that. They're called therapists, and they help you face reality, not hide from it. Psychics don't give closure. These slimy leeches dangle strings of false hope for desperate people to grasp at before draining their wallets dry.
Someone got in touch and said, there's a friend of mine who's very intelligent. He doesn't believe in psychic stuff generally, but his wife died. She was only 40, came out of the blue. She died, he was distraught. And so what you do is you clutch at straws. What can you do? You know, you can't bring them back, but if there's a slight chance you may be able to speak to them, you spend your money via a medium. So he did that, and the medium said, "Don't worry, everything will be fine. She's in heaven now, the pain's gone, and she's just waiting for you to join her." And the next week, he committed suicide to be with her. So that's the harm it can do.
If you drip feed false hope, you stifle the healing process. What's the harm? What's the harm in telling otherwise sweet but gullible people that they can fight an opponent using telekinesis, only to have them get their faces smashed in? What's the harm in telling desperate, chronically ill people that they don't need life-saving medical treatment, but that you can heal them with psychic surgery and energy healing that's really just a sleight of hand trick palming chicken guts?
People do this, they go to the Philippines, they spend their money, and they frankly return home, in most cases, to die.
Detectives say Wilson is quite the manipulator and somehow convinced the veteran to stop taking his PTSD medication and to keep their sessions secret. According to an affidavit, Wilson promised to bring the man out of the darkness. That vet paid Wilson $92,000 over the course of 15 months before he realized something wasn't right.
It's not that these cowards couldn't make an honest living using the same skill set. Magicians and mentalists use the same tricks to entertain, but they honestly fess up about the trickery aspect. The lie is the harm, and it's all a lie. But together we're pushing back against the harm done by promoting scientific skepticism and exposing their shtick. Just by sharing these videos around, we've been able to reach a total of over 1 million views. That's incredible. These videos do take a lot of work to produce though. Between Holy Kool-Aid, the Here and How podcast, and all the other stuff that I do for the community, if any of this has been of value to you, can I make a request? Please go to patreon.com/holykoolaid and make a pledge of any dollar amount that you can afford, and it'll help keep this show running. In exchange, you'll not only help support my work, but you'll get some perks too, like early access to certain videos, discounts on my mugs, t-shirts, and stuff at my store. You can get turned into a cartoon, and you get to join me live on air to interview a new guest I bring on every single month. All that and more is at patreon.com/holykoolaid. And I pour the bulk of my earnings back into Holy Kool-Aid, but if I manage to hit $750 a video, then I should be able to afford to travel to CSICon to meet you guys in person. And to everyone who's currently supporting me, y'all frickin' rock. Don't forget to like and share this video, dare to be curious, and don't drink the Kool-Aid. Psychics, they're going down. Psychics, they're going down. Psychics, they're going down. I'm coming for ya.